Can a symbol die while still breathing? Times Square, 2024. The Nike billboard flickers in the rain, neon buzzing like a dying heartbeat. A Gen Z teen scrolls through their phone. Nike Air Max in cart, $180, finger hovering, then swipes it away. New Balance added. Checkout, purchase confirmed. Face blank, indifferent. This is the sound of an empire collapsing in silence. Cut to Nike's Fifth Avenue flagship. Morning light pours through glass onto empty floors. Pristine shoes untouched. One employee checks their watch. No customers. Rewind to 1996. Same location. Faces pressed against glass. Hands pounding. Screaming for Jordan 11s. Security barely holding the line. Flashback further. 1984. Nike headquarters, Portland. Young executives betting everything on a rookie. We're calling them Air Jordans. The NBA bans them. Nike pays the fine. Every single game. $5,000. They turn a ban into mythology. Jordan flies, literally flies in the commercials. Kids everywhere want to be like Mike. This wasn't fashion, it was religion. The swoosh wasn't stitched onto shoes, it was stitched into identity. Flash forward, 2018. Colin Kaepernick kneels. Nike puts him on every billboard. Believe in something, even if it means sacrificing everything. America explodes. People burn their Nikes. Stock drops. Then sales surge 27%. Nike proves something radical. Standing for something makes you untouchable. Gen Z watches. They respect it. They believe. This is Nike's peak. Absolute summit. Cultural dominance so complete it feels permanent. But watch closely. In the background, cracks are forming. TikTok launches. Depop grows. Thrift culture spreads. Gen Z discovers vintage Asics in their parents' closets. New Balance dad shoes that aren't trying to be cool. Solomon trail runners worn by fashion kids in Soho. Hoka chunky sneakers that nurses love. These brands aren't buying Super Bowl ads. They're not signing LeBron. They're just existing authentically, and Gen Z notices. Cut to 2020. Pandemic. Everyone's stuck inside. Nike's direct-to-consumer strategy should be printing money, and it is, for a moment. But the data shows something else. Google Trends. Search interest for Nike sneakers peaks in 2016, steady through 2019. Then 2020 begins the slide. 2021 dropping. 2022 dropping faster. 2023 free fall. By 2024, lowest in a decade. Now overlay New Balance sneakers. 2015 flatline. 2020 bump. 2021 rising. 2022 spike. 2023 explosion. 2024 higher than Nike ever was. The shift isn't subtle, it's seismic. But why? Nike has the athletes, the technology, the history, the Jordan legacy. What went wrong? 3 fractures. First, oversaturation. When everything is limited edition, nothing is special. Travis Scott drops, sold out in seconds. Bots bought 90%. Real fans got nothing. Every release became a resale game. Hype died when it became an algorithm. Gen Z watched sneaker culture turn into Wall Street. They walked away. Second, the message went stale. Every Nike ad looked identical. Celebrity athlete, slow motion sweat, inspirational quote, swoosh. It stopped feeling brave, started feeling like a formula. You can't sell rebellion to people rebelling against you. Third, they stopped listening. Nike talked about sustainability while factories in Vietnam polluted rivers. Talked about empowerment while paying workers $2 a day. Gen Z grew up with Google in their pockets. They fact-check everything. The gap between Nike's words and actions became a canyon, and Gen Z doesn't forgive that. Intercut timelines. 1996, kid gets Jordans for Christmas, cries with joy. 2018, teenager camps overnight for off-white Nikes, posts unboxing video, 3 million views. 2024, Gen Z teen walks into Foot Locker, walks past Nike wall without looking, picks up New Balance 550s, buys them, Posts on TikTok, 70,000 likes. Comments flood in. W. These are it. Nike could never. No hate, no backlash, just indifference. And indifference is the final stage. First, they love you. Then they hate you. Then they forget you. Nike skipped hate entirely. Gen Z just moved on. Morning Consult Survey. 10,000 Gen Z consumers. Do you trust Nike? 2019, 73% yes. 2023, 41%. 32-point drop in 4 years. Is Nike cool? 2019, 81% yes. 2023, 37%. Nike went from the coolest brand on earth to barely average. And they saw it happening. Internal reports from 2022 flagged declining brand affinity among 18 to 24-year-olds. They knew. So they panicked, threw money at problems. More celebrity collabs, more bots winning, more real fans losing. They launched Move to Zero, pledging carbon neutrality by 2050. Gen Z will be 50 by then. They're buying Allbirds today. Nike bought RTFKT, launched NFT sneakers. Market collapsed 6 months later. Built Nikeland in Roblox. Kids played for a week, forgot it existed. Every solution made the problem worse. Meanwhile, competitors got smarter. New Balance owned their dad shoe reputation. Worn by supermodels in London and dads in Ohio, went viral. Honest, funny, real. Hoka didn't chase cool, just made insanely comfortable shoes. Runners loved them. Nurses loved them. Chefs loved them. Then Vogue loved them. Organic, no forced hype. On Running, a Swiss brand worth $6 billion now, focused on innovation over celebrity. Built trust instead of hype. And when trust is your foundation, growth is inevitable. Nike had trust. They spent it all. Close up, Gen Z teen's face. 16 years old. Her dad wore Jordans. Brother collected Nike SBs. She grew up swimming in swooshes. She was supposed to want them, but she doesn't. She's scrolling, sees Nike ad, keeps scrolling. New Balance ad, stops, clicks. $300 saved. She buys the 550S, white and green. Posts them. Caption, these just hit different. Hundreds of thousands of likes. Comment section unanimous. This moment, multiplied by millions, is Nike's collapse. Not dramatic, not loud, just quiet choices repeated endlessly until the empire crumbles in silence. Flash between timelines faster now. Jordan's dunk. Kaepernick's kneel. Teen deleting Nike from cart. Empty flagship store. Sold out Jordans from 1996. 70% off Nikes in 2024. The ticking grows louder. Clock, heartbeat, swoosh sound, all layering, building tension. Then silence. Complete silence. Empty Nike store. Single light on the swoosh. Glowing. Alone. The narration returns. Quiet. Final. So where does Nike go from here? They're still massive. Still profitable. Still signing athletes. But cultural relevance gone. And once you lose a generation, you lose their children. Their grandchildren. The legacy dies not with an explosion, but with indifference. Nike could come back. It would require radical honesty, transparency they've never shown, becoming a brand that serves people, not shareholders, listening instead of lecturing. Can they do it? Maybe. Will they? Empires never think they're falling until they've hit the ground. Nike still sees themselves as inevitable, as the brand that defined culture for 40 years. And they're right, they did, past tense. But Gen Z doesn't care what you were, they care what you are. And right now, Nike is a legacy brand watching the world move on. The swoosh still glows on billboards, still sits on millions of shoes, still flashes in commercials. But symbols only have power if people believe in them. And belief can't be bought, can't be manufactured, can't be algorithmed into existence. You earn it, and once it's gone, getting it back is almost impossible. So this is where we are. The brand that told us to just do it forgot to do the one thing that mattered. Listen. An entire generation moved moved on. They're wearing New Balance, Hoka, On, Solomon, thrifted Asics, brands Nike never saw coming, and they're not looking back. Every empire falls, even the ones we built, even the ones we worshipped, even the ones with a swoosh. Can a symbol survive without belief? We're about to find out. The billboard flickers one last time. The neon dies. Fade to black. Silence.